Hello, in this video I would like to highlight some of the changes that Apple did with their recent October 2013 update to the Keynote app for the iPad. Now some of these most notable changes with this update involve adding new themes, interactive charts, improving animations and transitions, including an expanded tool set, and also improvements to iCloud integration. Now to get started, I'm going to tap on the Keynote icon, which does look different now. You can see it here in my screen. It has looks like a little podium with a blue background. If I tap that, that will launch Keynote. And as you can see here, I already have mine syncing with iCloud. So I have some folders already showing that have a whole bunch of other presentations that I've done. But the top left-hand corner, there's a plus, and if you tap on that plus, it will give you the option to create a new presentation. And you'll immediately realize that there are a lot more themes to choose from. So again, in typical Apple fashion, these are some very high quality themes. It's very easy for you to change text in these themes and drop and drag new images instead of their images, but it always gives you a good starting point of where you can begin. So I'm just going to select one here. This is one of the new ones here called Slate. And just like before, if you tap in the bottom left-hand corner where there's the plus sign, you can add more slides. So I'm just going to add a few here very quickly so that we have a few to work with. On the left-hand navigation, I could just tap and that will move me around. If I want to reorder these, I just hold my finger on it. That will disengage one of the slides and I can drag it up. I could go in and very easily tap to edit any of my text. Across the top, there's the format paintbrush. If I look up here where that is, I still have the ability, and this is going to be context specific. Since I selected text, I can now go in and change the style, the text, or the arrangement. If I tap on the image and I go up to the format paintbrush, it will give me the options that were available before using some of those features. Now, one of these, when you're looking with the image, you do have the ability to do what's called instant alpha. This is something that previously you were only able to do before on the Mac version of this, but with Instant Alpha, you select the background area, and what it'll do is it will remove that color from the background. Notice it removed the black. I'm going to tap Done. So now I have a nice cutout of the main focal point of that image. Another option that is available is when I hit on the plus sign here, this will allow me to go in and I can insert my media. I can still insert tables. When I get to the charts, though, one of their new sections here is to add an interactive chart. So I'm going to just insert kind of a blank template here just to show you what the interactive chart looks like. And I have 4 here to choose from, and I could choose different color themes if I'd like to. So I want to find one that will match my theme. I will select this one, and it will by default give me a chart that has some data. I could edit this data and make it my own. But now when you're working with your data, you have the X and the Y axis, but you could also add another dimension to it. So you could put 3 sets of data. And what that will translate to is down here at the very bottom of this area, when you are giving your presentation, you could just tap on some of these dots and it will progress through the data showing it differently. So now you don't need to create different slides to show different graphs. You can just tie them all together with this. Another improvement that they've added to this update is if you click on the wrench in the top, you can go down to transitions and builds. They still have the ability for you to do the animations or the builds of what's on the slide, and you also can do the transitions that happened before. But now they've added a few more features, and you have a couple new ones like Magic Moves, a new one, Clothesline's a new one. So you can change the animation with, again, some really good high quality animations. I'm just going to tap Done. Going back to that tool, clicking on the wrench, you do have some improvements with the presentation tools. I will tap on that section here. You do have the presentation tools section, which has been improved. It gives the ability to do interactive links, which will allow you to navigate back and forth between slides within the presentation itself. So you could do an asynchronous presentation, meaning it's not going to go from slide 1 to slide 2 to slide 3. You could tap on different icons and have them link to other portions in the presentation. You now have the ability to add a soundtrack, and this allows you to choose from your audio that you have on your device, so you could have some background music. You could also go in under presentation type And this is where you could choose to loop the presentation. Maybe you're doing like a kiosk mode here. You can just loop the presentation. You could do with links only, or you can make it self-playing so that you don't need to start or stop it, and you have some options there. Now, one of the biggest features is the increased ability for them to add iCloud support. Now, you were always able to save your projects into iCloud, but now you have the ability to share it with others a lot easier. One of the problems that you have sometimes is you might have a PowerPoint that has a lot of music and a lot of pictures in it that's too big to send a copy via email. Well, now you could share a link via iCloud, so anyone, it doesn't matter if they have an iOS device or even a Mac, it could be on a PC, they can get a link sent to them that will give them access to view this online. So I can add this to the mail here. I can also send it through message, Facebook, or Twitter. So those are a couple of the main features that are with this new version. So please take a look at them. If you have any questions, please let me know.